Jey Uso saves the OG Bloodline. Triple H messed up WWE Raw. Congratulations to Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Samantha Irvin was not fired. She quit to save her relationship with Ricochet. Rey Mysterio makes major accusation after Raw. Cena Vs Cody Rhodes in the making. The Rock is the end of Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso's loss on Raw was completely storyline driven. Let's dive in. Triple H messed up WWE Raw. WWE had a big main event planned for Raw, with Jey Uso defending the Intercontinental Championship against former title holder Braun Breaker. Interference was a strong possibility after Jey's trip to SmackDown last week. He pleaded with Solo Sikoa to stop splitting the family in half, but his words went unheard, and he departed without joining either side of the Bloodline War. While the result of the main event may have disappointed many fans, the booking process wasn't the only mistake made on the night. WWE made the next 5 errors on the latest episode of Raw. Number 1. Competitors waiting in the ring for their opponents. An ongoing booking strategy WWE has used involves the pacing of its matches. The first competitor will often come out, but then the show cuts right to a commercial. When the show returns, a video package or different vignette often airs before the opponent even comes out. This happened in almost every match on Raw, with Breaker waiting nearly 10 minutes for Jey Uso to come down. Before Jey made his entrance, Kathy Kelly interviewed Gunther backstage. After that conversation, the champ was confronted by Damian Priest. Why has a star come out and bounced around the ring for so long? The backstage face-to-face could have been aired before his entrance so as not to break up the consistency of the competitors making their way to the ring. Number 2. The Final Testament loses twice in one night. WWE's booking of Karrion Kross and the Final Testament has made the group feel like a bunch of chihuahuas barking at Godzilla. Kross talks a big game, but the group loses much more than it wins. That fact was on full display again, as the Authors of Pain lost to the New Day via roll-up. R-Truth interfered to help Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, but he got destroyed after the New Day left the ring. As Kross orchestrated the post-match beatdown to regain some heat, the Wyatt Six appeared to run them off. It's an overused trope to give heat back to heels, but the post-match antics made the Final Testament even less credible than before. Number 3. A lack of creativity in WWE's booking for women's tag team matches. Over half of the women's tag team matches in 2024 have resorted to outside interference for a finish. When that tactic is used a few times a year, it works well. But when WWE does the same thing in back-to-back weeks after doing so in many key matches, it shows a lack of booking ideas. It's easy to see that WWE wants a multi-team match at Crown Jewel. That's the only way WWE will book Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to lose. It's how they lost the titles the first time. But interference also marred several title matches featuring the Unholy Union. Number 4. The LWO has a tag team that doesn't compete in the tag team tournament. The Latino World Order consists of Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega, Dragon Lee, and the tandem of Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. Del Toro and Wilde have teamed together for years, but are yet to win gold. WWE booked several teams in a mini-tournament to find a random challenger for the Judgment Day. The LWO faced the Creeds, but Rey and Lee represented the group in the match. Rey is obviously over with the crowd and more recognizable, but what purpose do Wilde and Del Toro serve? Dragon Lee and Rey won, so the group won, but it's strange not to use a team that has been together for years in the tournament. Number 5. Overbooking the main event of Raw. Had Jey Uso not gone to SmackDown last week, he may still be the Intercontinental Champion. Once he dipped his toes back into Bloodline drama, it was only a matter of time before it cost him big. As he set up Braun Breaker for a finishing sequence, Sikoa and Jacob Fatu appeared in the crowd as spectators. Jey immediately left the ring to confront his brother. Breaker chased him, but speared Solo after he pushed Jey out of the way. Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga also appeared, but Jey hit them with super kicks. The champ had a chance to win, but Braun kicked out. There was a lot more going on than just a one-on-one encounter. Bookers could have had Jey push Solo and Jacob to take exception, thus interfering to cost Jey the title. It felt like WWE was overthinking the outcome just to get the belt off of Jey and back on Breaker. The Yeet Master's short run as champion somewhat devalues the title since it was used to get him back into the Bloodline drama for War Games. Congratulations to Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins have been a tag team for a long time. They just accomplished a huge milestone. The Street Profits are one of the most entertaining tag teams in all of WWE. After several impressive performances on NXT, they were called up to the main roster, where it didn't take long for them to impress with their consistent performances. As a result, they won the SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Championships, making them the second ever WWE Tag Team Triple Crown champions. Although they have not held Tag Team Gold in a while now, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford are still loved by fans due to their presentation on screen. As a tag team, they recently reached a massive milestone. Today marks 5 years since the Street Profits first debuted on WWE Raw. Montez Ford acknowledged this accomplishment on social media with a fitting message. Happy 5-year anniversary to this moment. Throughout his entire WWE career, Montez Ford has been in a tag team with Angelo Dawkins. While there have been teases that they could split up, this has not yet happened. Speaking on The Masked Man show, Bianca Belair revealed that Ford is ready for a singles run, but he feels guilty about breaking up their tag team. Yeah, I mean, he's ready. He is ready. He loves being in a tag team. Angelo Dawkins is his brother, and sometimes he goes back and forth. He's ready, then he gets guilty, he feels guilty. He's like, that's my boy, I should want to do as much as I can in this tag team. But he's ready. I always tell him, it's just not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. All that man needs is the opportunity, and he will skyrocket. T will be interesting to see when the Street Profits will finally break up, and Ford will pursue a singles career. Samantha Irvin was not fired. She quit to save her relationship with Ricochet. Just a few hours before the October 21st, 2024, episode of Raw went on the air, ring announcer Samantha Irvin took to social media to announce her departure from WWE. She left on her own terms, according to the latest report. The 35-year-old served as a ring announcer for several WWE shows, from 205 Live to NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. She also did the introductions for all 14 matches that took place at WrestleMania 40 this year. She was known for her unique style, as she added her personal touch when introducing wrestlers like Chelsea Green, Ludwig Kaiser, Gunther, and Roman Reigns. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful and PW Insider have reported that Samantha Irvin was not released from WWE. She decided to resign from her position, and the company was made aware of it earlier that day. Samantha Irvin thanked many people in her departure announcement, including Triple H, Michael Cole, the producers, fans, the referees, and Mark Henry, who gave her the big break of her career. Irvin was replaced by Lillian Garcia, who officially returned on RAW this week and will serve as a full-time ring announcer. Samantha is engaged to Ricochet, who is currently signed to AEW. The abrupt nature of Samantha Irvin's WWE exit caught everyone by surprise, causing some to wonder the reason behind it. The ring announcer wasn't released by the company, with multiple sources reporting that she had resigned on her own. Sportskeeda Wrestling's Dr. Chris Featherstone has confirmed that Irvin quit WWE due to her schedule not working with her relationship with Ricochet. Amid speculation that she would join AEW to work alongside her fiancé again, the former WWE superstar himself confirmed that wouldn't be the case. It remains to be seen what Samantha Irvin does next, whether or not she remains in the wrestling business. Either way, it seems like the future is bright for the former Raw ring announcer. Rey Mysterio makes major accusation after Raw. Rey Mysterio was not happy after WWE Raw went off the air this week and sent a warning to a superstar. The star was furious and made an accusation. Mysterio is not only a WWE legend, he's also a Hall of Famer, but that has not stopped him from competing in the ring. Recently, he's found himself in an inadvertent feud with Xavier Woods. This week on Raw, both the teams of Mysterio and Dragon Lee on one side and New Day on the other won their first-round matches for the tag team title number one Contenders tournament. Now, the two will be facing each other and the War Raiders on next week's show on October 28th. When the teams confronted each other backstage, though, there was some hostility. After Raw had gone off the air, Kofi Kingston found Woods in an argument with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio also made a major accusation against Woods, saying that the last time they had faced each other, he had taken off Mysterio's mask on purpose. He said that the next time Woods touched the mask, there would be issues. Kofi, no disrespect to you. Woods, I'm all about good, clean competition. Not like the little stunt last time we were in the ring. I'm gonna tell you one thing. You mess with my mask one more time, I'm gonna put you in your place. Woods went so far as to say that Mysterio didn't need a mask at all, leading to even more controversy after the already controversial ending to the last time he faced the legend. John Cena vs. Cody Rhodes in the making. John Cena and Cody Rhodes are the two biggest names in WWE. An ex-WWE writer recently discussed an idea that the two stars are pushing for WrestleMania. That would be Vince Russo. WrestleMania has been WWE's top event each year in the United States of America. While many other premium live events have been taken overseas by the company in recent years, the show of shows has stuck to the USA. John Cena recently talked about the possibility of having WrestleMania in the United Kingdom. Cody Rhodes backed his request, stating that England deserves to host the show of shows in London or another big city. Appearing on Sportskeeda Wrestling's The Coach and Bro Wrestling Show, Vince Russo talked about the prospects of seeing the NFL's Super Bowl and WWE's WrestleMania outside the United States of America. He noted that he could not imagine the Super Bowl outside the USA. However, the 63-year-old veteran did talk about how the Show of Shows does things differently. I do believe that too. I can't ever see the Super Bowl being outside of the United States. Man, when it comes to the branding and the selling and advertising and the marketing, etc. of WrestleMania, oh my God, they have done such a tremendous job over the years. It is incredible, Vince Russo said. Russo noted that there was no point in spending so much extra to take WrestleMania outside of the United States of America, as John Cena and Cody Rhodes wanted. Instead, the show continues to sell out within minutes in the USA. When WrestleMania comes to your town, they take over the city. It is everywhere. You could hold WrestleMania anywhere in the United States, and it will sell out in under 5 minutes. I don't understand the appeal to take it overseas when you have all the extra costs with production, etc. Triple H recently met with the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, behind the scenes. It could possibly lead to something bigger for the United Kingdom, as John Cena and Cody Rhodes could feature in the Show of Shows in the UK sooner rather than later. John Cena will return to WWE in 2025 for a retirement tour that will likely see him continue on the Raw brand. With the Red brand's move to Netflix, Triple H and his team will work hard to ensure that Cena and Cody Rhodes both get some top matches on the brand. Fans could end up seeing the Chain Gang Soldier and the American Nightmare team up for a few matches on the show. Alternatively, Cody could turn heel in 2025 and compete against Cena in one of his final matches. There are countless dream matches for Cena, who will return to the ring for one final run. A match against Rhodes tops that list. The Rock is the end of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has been the undisputed WWE champion since WrestleMania 40. WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry recently predicted a massive superstar will end the American Nightmare's reign. Heading into WrestleMania earlier this year, Rhodes had a heated feud with The Rock. The final boss pinned the American Nightmare on night 1 of the Show of Shows to earn himself and Roman Reigns over Rhodes and Seth Rollins in a tag team match. However, the 52-year-old legend failed to stop Rhodes from winning the title. The following night, he confronted the new undisputed WWE champion on Raw after WrestleMania. He promised to go after him upon his return from hiatus. Earlier this month, The Rock made a surprise comeback at Bad Blood, where he seemingly sent a message to Rhodes, Reigns, and Jey Uso through a cryptic gesture. Speaking on the Busted Open podcast, wrestling legend Mark Henry predicted that The Rock would end the American Nightmare's title reign. Although he pointed out that Gunther would be his next choice, the world's strongest man explained why he believes the final boss should be the one to do it. Who do you think is going to end Cody Rhodes' reign as undisputed WWE champion? I would have liked to think that it would be The Rock, but Gunther would be my next choice. And I'ma tell you why I say The Rock. Because the bloodline is in turmoil, and leadership and ownership of who's going to be the leader of the bloodline is the most imminent thing in the bloodline future, he said. The wrestling legend recalled his suggestion that The Rock could return and have the members of the New Look bloodline betray Solo Sikoa, leading the latter to reunite with Reigns and the Usos. He stated that it would create a bloodline saga that would lead to a massive square-off between the final boss and the original tribal chief at WrestleMania. It would create a bloodline saga with Roman Reigns being the babyface. That's going to be the future. And it's going to take for The Rock to be the champion with the rest of the bloodline and being able to actually hold a real valid title and not the Muhammad Ali Memorial title. Like hold up a real WWE championship. And now you have something. Because The Rock being able to hold that title up with the Ulafala on and Roman chasing would make for a hell of a WrestleMania, he added. While Cody Rhodes will square off against the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther for the Crown Jewel Championship at the upcoming Premium Live event in Saudi Arabia, he is involved in a feud with Kevin Owens on SmackDown. On his Cheap Heat podcast, WWE analyst Peter Rosenberg claimed the prize fighter dethroning the American Nightmare would be believable for one reason. The only reason I would think it's believable is, if you're gonna have the scene of Kevin Owens beating the hell of your top guys, why do that if there is no bigger play for Kevin Owens? Him doing that for no reason wouldn't make sense, he said. Jey Uso's loss on Raw was completely storyline driven. WWE star Jey Uso lost the Intercontinental Championship this week in a shocking turn of events. Jey was defending his title against Braun Breaker in the main event of Monday Night Raw. The IC title match on Raw descended into chaos as the Bloodline showed up on the Red brand. Jey hit a super kick on Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa before coming face-to-face with Solo Sikoa. Braun Breaker also joined in the physicality, spearing Solo. Although Adam Pearce ejected Tonga and Loa, Jacob Fatu smashed Uso with a Samoan drop on the announcer's desk. This allowed Breaker to hit a spear on his opponent and recapture the title. This week on Legion of Raw, Vince Russo claimed he was finally proven correct. The veteran writer mentioned that the Intercontinental Championship win for Jey Uso was to drive the storyline, and not because WWE wanted to reward Jey for the time he put in. The entire angle with putting the belt on Jey and what they did tonight is what I said. All storyline driven. The entire thing was storyline driven. I said if the boys want to believe that is some type of reward for going up and down the road or 45-minute matches and all that, if they really want to believe that, good for them, believe it. With this loss, Jey Uso's Intercontinental Championship reign ended in just 28 days. It will be interesting to see how Jey plans to get retribution on the Bloodline in the coming weeks. Jey Uso saves the OG Bloodline. Roman Reigns has been trying to regain leadership of the Bloodline since his return at SummerSlam. However, WWE analyst Sam Roberts believes he would not be the one to save the faction. Over the past several weeks, Reigns and Solo Sikoa have been fighting over the tribal chief status. While Sikoa has Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu by his side, Reigns is seemingly heading towards reuniting the original Bloodline. After Jimmy Uso returned to rejoin forces with the former undisputed WWE champion, the two now seek to recruit Jey Uso's help. On his Not Some Wrestling podcast, Sam Roberts predicted that Jey would be the savior of the Bloodline. The Raw Talk host pointed out that while the Usos once needed Reigns to prosper, the latter now needs Jey to do the same. Roberts claimed that Jey saving the family instead of the original tribal chief would be a full-circle Jey Uso redemption arc story that has been being told for 4 years. I think that Jey Uso is going to be involved with the Bloodline. I think that this whole thing that we're seeing is a redemption arc for Jey Uso. A year ago at SummerSlam 2023, people said, the Bloodline story is really a Jey Uso story, and there was an argument to that even then, he said. But that story is still being told. I think the story was not Jey Uso wins the WWE Championship from Roman Reigns. I think the story was that at one point the Usos needed Roman Reigns to prosper, and now it's Jey Uso that Roman Reigns needs to allow him to prosper. I think Jey Uso being the one to save the Bloodline and not Roman Reigns is that full-circle Jey Uso redemption arc story that we've been telling for 4 years now.